You ready?
Ready.
Welcome to my dad's podcast. I didn't like how I said that. Welcome to my dad's podcast, where me and my dad podcast. What's up, Mr. Jones?
Not much, Marlon. Everything's good.
How's your day going? It's Labor Day, 2023. My dad was born on Labor Day in 1960.
Yep,
Fast
tomorrow's
fact.
my birthday.
Yep. After we done recording, I gotta go to the mall and spend my little $3 I got in my bank account to go get him something. What do you want for your birthday?
I don't know. Anything's fine.
I hate that.
I'm just happy to have them.
I hate that so much. I hate that so much. Just give an answer. Cause see, that's not saying, oh, I'm not gonna get a present now. It's like, oh yeah, I'm still gonna get a present, but you have to now go and think about what I want for my birthday.
That's the way it worked, though. That's the way it worked.
No, that's not how it works.
I never ask people what they want. I whatever I feel I can afford and I think they would use, I just buy it.
You're terrible at giving gifts.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
What'd you get me for my birthday? My 30th birthday was 2 weeks ago.
Probably money. That's always a good gift.
That's not very thoughtful.
But you get what you want with it.
My mom gave me some money. That was from her. It said Laura Jones deposited blank into your bank account with a note saying happy birthday.
From us. Her money and my money is the same money. I don't know.
So
I was thinking, Marlon. I was saying we started our podcast and everything, and we talking to people, and I don't think the people know anything about us.
Good.
It's just son and his father on there talking, and they don't know nothing about us, who we are.
What more do they need to know?
I don't know that I'm here giving out these comments and stuff. And I don't want them to think I'm just a fool. That I do have a little basic knowledge to where I can talk to people and make some sense.
So what would you like for people to know about you, Mr. Jones?
I don't know. I think the main thing that I hold to be very proud is that I've maintained a 35-year relationship with the same woman. Oh, gosh, I need a medal.
How do you do it? What give me some relationship advice. I've maintained not 35-year. I've maintained a 30-year relationship with myself. I've been in relationships with women before. I hate them all though.
My thing is, when you're dealing with relationships and everything, you have to take the other person's feelings and emotions into consideration before you take your own. A lot of times that works for the good, and sometimes it works for the bad, because with that person who you're putting their feelings and emotions above yours, if they selfish and don't care nothing about you, then I think that's just a waste of time. Long as the person know that you're putting forth effort and that you putting their emotions up with your own emotions, a good woman respects it.
I think it's preached more that men are supposed to put women's emotions first in relationships, and not as much the vice versa. And I think that's detrimental to your mental sanity.
Well, the thing is that you have to you can't do that with all women. You have to know the woman that you're actually placing their emotions above yours, and you have to make sure that that woman has internal motherly instincts, to say, meaning that they know how to care about someone other than their own self or themselves.
I'm slow to respond because I don't want to just invoke bitterness in my answer, because I'm not bitter as far as relationships go. I'm just more accepting of negative things. Is that being bitter? I'm very, very accepting of downfalls.
Well, that's not being bitter and everything. We have to look at the times that we're living in now, and media, mothers, fathers, women, they've been taught and they're teaching each other that they are the prize in the relationship and that they are the ones who are to be won. And it's a fallacy. It's not true because that goes completely against everything that the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, go against everything that's biblical. But yet and still, that's the emotions that you see now in our society, and our kids are running rapid because the mothers that I grew up under, my mother and my grandmother, they had my best interest. They wanted the best for me when I was growing up. And nowadays, if the best,
Hold up, you breaking up.
and now,
Is it? Oh my god. Is everything plugged in properly?
I guess so. Why?
Because the equipment is crap. Because everything is crap. Everything in my life is crap. You can finish what you're saying though.
I think I lost my train of thought.
You were talking about the mothers raising you had your
Well,
best interest at heart.
Right. Well, and that don't exist in this day and in this time. A woman is considered to be weak if she has emotional attachments to her children, if she has emotional attachments to her husband or her significant other, her boyfriend. If a woman is not doing something that's going to be pleasing and acceptable to other women, then it's frowned upon, and that's the new world in which we're living in now. And just like all these other things that exist now that didn't exist back when I was a child growing up, that it's making life difficult. But hey,
I think I think a misconception that women have is that men care what their friends think. Like, let's say one of my friends comes and he's just strung out over some girl. She is 6 at best. She just average, but he like her for some reason. And me and my friends like make fun of him. That's not gonna actually have any effect towards his relationship. And I think that they think that it would. Like, I'll sit down and have a conversation with my homie, be like, "You soft, you a simp, you this, that, and the third." He'll be like, "Oh no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I wear the pants in the relationship. She wearing a tutu, standing over a manhole with the wind blowing up like Marilyn Manson, trying to hold it down, and all of that type of stuff." And the thing is, he'll have that conversation with me, and me and him will both know he's about to go back to her and be that same soft simp. We know this. We've accepted it. We're fine with it. And I think the difference is when women have that exact same conversation with other women, they feel as if they need to go to their relationship and conduct themselves differently for some sort of respect or something, almost as if their romantic partner views them the same way that these women are telling them. These women who don't know their romantic partner, know nothing about the relationship, are telling them that they should be. Hold on one second. I think there's too many. I'm kind of off screen on that camera. I think there's too many opinions being taken into consideration, and the thing is, as a man, I'm trying to not say pussy, because that's not but like, that's how I feel if my homies are gonna tell me about my shorty, about my girlfriend, about my wife, and I'm finna listen to them and take it with me. Am I gonna talk some noise while they're sitting there? Yeah, because I don't feel like hearing you no more. It's like when you're talking to a child, you just tell them what they want to hear. You know what I'm saying? But and there's a whole real world outside of it, and all the conversation be jocular. And I also think that, as a guy, there's certain you gotta kind of walk on thin ice when you're talking about a friend of your significant other if they actually care about that person. And I don't see that same respect amongst women.
Well, most men realize that when they're making their critiques or whatever about you and your relationship, they walking on thin ice because they realize that if they do slip up and say something that we deem disrespectful, they may get cocked in the mouth. But
Pause.
the thing is that 99%, well, not 99%, but 90% of the time, the advice that our friends are giving us about our relationship, that go in one ear and come out the other one, because we're looking at them like, I see what you're in. You're not in a position to tell me how to be in a relationship when you're in that right there. Your significant others calling you bitches and all that kind of stuff, and yet and still you trying to give advice.
I think that is another difference that I notice. Like, men have a tendency to judge the advice based on the person it's coming from. Because, like, and I mean, and also you just get better advice from people who will relationship wise, who are in stable relationships. And it's like, as a woman, they'll take advice from their friend who they know has been in 3 relationships last year and cheated on every one of those guys, got cheated on by every one of those guys, but it was fun. Their friend that likes the toxicity, their friend that's attracted to chaos. They'll take that advice. Whereas I feel like men will listen to it because it's funny.
Yep,
That's the best
it's
you'll
funny.
get. The best you'll get is that it is funny what this person's saying to me, but I'm not gonna actually internalize any of the things that this person is saying.
No, no, and that's true. We look at it as being funny. Some of the best advice that men get, they get it from women, believe it or not. And I think some of the best advice women get, they get from men, because they get outside of their own personality, get outside of their own ego when they're talking to someone of the opposite sex. And when that man says something, they may not act on it and they may not use it, but they take that advice because they know it's good advice, and they try when they're not around other women to actually operate in that. But hey, the same with men. Same with men. Women can give you some good advice, and yeah, the only thing is that we'll try it. We'll try it to see if it's gonna work.
Because we care less about what our friends think. So even like around my friends, I'll still, and if it's something that is good, because it's gonna make my life more comfortable if my significant other is happy. If I make my significant other happy, my significant other, if I can make her happy, that makes my life less stressful. And I feel like that's vice versa, but like there's a responsibility, and I'm speaking from a male perspective, to where you don't want your emotions to necessarily have too much of a negative degree of like influence on your significant other's like life. So whereas if my girlfriend is unhappy, she is okay with communicating to me that she is unhappy, even if that makes me also unhappy, if it inconveniences me. In a way that if I'm unhappy, I don't necessarily want to inconvenience my significant other with the way that I feel. You
We
know what I'm saying?
internalize it. We keep it internal.
And I'm getting old, man. I'm getting old and I'm getting tired. I'm getting old and I'm getting tired of like dealing with it, dealing with it all. I'm just getting I'm getting to a place to where it's too much outside noise even in like I feel like most relationships they start going wrong during the courting phase, and whereas women don't necessarily have to deal with sparking a relationship, so they don't really put as much thought into the fact that like that 4 or 5 months while I'm trying to convince you that I'm somebody that's worthy of you and you're trying to make it hard for me. That's how I met you. That is the you know how to say first impressions last. That is my first impression of you. My first impression doesn't come when you decide that you like me back. So all of the crap that I got to deal with. If I want to buy you a drink, I gotta buy your friends drinks. If you feel like not talking to me for 6 days, it's supposed to be just cool when you decide to talk back to me. You still got an issue that I have so much is when you meet women, and it happens to me so often. Within the first conversation, they're bringing up their ex and things like that. Like that's the you that I know now.
That's disrespectful, though. Totally disrespectful, and that what that do is let you know that they haven't completely got over that ex. That ex may have hurt them and whatever, but they hadn't got over that ex if they bringing him up. Out of sight, out of mind. Now, later on in the relationship, once you've gotten to know her and everything, I don't mind talking about your ex. Let me know what he did that hurt you so I can try not to do it.
That's just not. It's too much accessibility in today's day and age. Like back in the day, the most attractive woman in the town might have 4 or 5 guys a day try to talk to her. Whenever she go out to the grocery store, the guys that have enough courage to go and walk up to her in person and try to speak to her. When she goes out, the guys who feel like they dressed well enough and they have enough courage to go and actually speak to her in person. They have and in that same token, as a guy, before you can approach a woman, you have to have like some sort of a plan. You have to like it's a process to the approach within itself. Nowadays, she got 60 guys who just sent "What's up" to 35 women in their in like from Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or whatever. Just there, and it's like you now who was standing in front of her having a conversation with her also have to be in competition with these guys who wouldn't have walked up to her had they seen her in person.
Well, the thing is that those guys who are what's up in her and everything, who realize that she may not be in their league, like you said, they're not gonna walk up to her in person, and they can say anything over social media. They can make themselves be anything they want them to be, but they realize also that you're gonna have to meet this person face to face, and then.
But see, that's gosh, this static is really killing me. That's the problem, though, because see now, me and you are in a whole relationship. I know your mom. Like we're together, but you're still holding me to this standard as if you have 30 me's waiting in the rafters just because you got 50 DMs today.
Well, the thing is that what most women they have to realize is that there's not enough men for you, one woman, to have 30. Hanging in your DM or whatever, for you thinking that there's 30 different men out there who want you. It may be 30 different men out there who want to have sex with you, but those 30 different men don't want you.
That you're arguing from a place of common sense, though. She's still going to carry herself as if you're replaceable. The person who she could call at 2 o'clock in the morning that'll get out of his bed and go pick her up if he needs to. Like you're still replaceable because there's all these other guys there, and it takes me to a place where I'm starting to think in today's day and age maybe longevity within relationships is unrealistic. And I don't want to say unrealistic because there's people who have it, but it's like having a goal to be a millionaire. That'd be nice. Probably not going to be a millionaire. So you just, in the words of Kanye, they say people in your life are seasons, and anything that happens is for a reason. She's there for whatever you're going to get from her, and I don't mean to say that and objectify her, but whatever y'all experiences that you get from one another is going to happen as it is. But it's not necessary that you always feel that could be maintained over a long period of time with as many obstacles that continue to arise.
I don't know. My thing is that women are very intelligent beings. And for them they can say whatever comes out their mouth. They can go on their social media and say anything they want to say. But women are lonely. They don't have men waiting in line for them like they think they can have. All of them think they can have, but none of them have it. Even Halle Berry used to, at one point, being the most attractive woman in this country, is by herself now.
She's paying child support to two white men.
Yeah, and a lot of child support. You got Miss. I'm not gonna have any kids. Vivica A. Fox, who still running behind 50.
You think
Still
so?
trying. Oh, she's still trying to get 50. And then when she can't have 50, she make all those little derogatory statements. Women, all you have to do is look at the society that you're living in, and you will see that there's not enough men out there for all of you. So to think that you got 30 or 40 because you got people hitting you up in your on your social media, don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe.
And I think that's what makes it rough for me. Cause like, and this is a problem. This is an obstacle that I've noticed about myself that I just find it difficult for me to get over. Let's say I want to have sex with a woman, and I done met you one or two times, and I know that there is no future there. Like I know it. But I want to have sex with you still. And you start acting crazy. I start noticing qualities about you that are like non-favorable. I'm still going to want to have sex with you, and I'm gonna still pursue you because I know that I'm only have to deal with this for like 2 weeks till the job is done, and then I can move on about my business. Whereas if I meet a shorty and I actually want you like romantically for a future, I would like to build some sort of longevity with you. It's certain things that I might tolerate from that shorty that I only expect to be around for 2 weeks that I'm not going to expect to tolerate from you. So then it's difficult when you actually meet that girl who you actually like and you wanted to go somewhere with the relationship, and she starts to put you in the same boat as those guys that you know is only they only have a 2 week investment put in, that they even plan to put in this in the first place. And it's just it's frustrating for me. That's why I find myself more frustrated dealing with women that I romantically want to be involved with than women who I'm just trying to whatever and then head on about my business.
And the sad part about that is that those young ladies realize that there's no future in those relationships.
I don't. But are you sure they do though?
But because they have friends who are telling them stuff that the friend know ain't true, trying to build them up. They all this and they all that. Women cannot trust women.
It's like
that's the bottom line. They cannot trust each other because if you got a good man, your friend would jump right on your man if you break up with him.
It's like I hear what you're saying. I understand the logic in what you're saying. It's not reflective of my real world experience.
Well, like you said, you're out there in the real world and you're dealing with this thing. I'm just looking at it from a common sense standpoint, and I'm looking at it from the way I grew up 50 years ago. It's things have changed. What I saw as a little boy, I would have never thought that I would be seeing that on a daily basis.
It's changing fast too. What I saw what I see now as a little boy, I never would have thought that I would be seeing. Like it's crazy. It's out here. It's nothing out here. It's not. It's really just the reality of the situation is there's nothing out here.
But one thing I can say and will say is that if you find a good woman, which there are plenty of them out there, hold on to her, and you're gonna have to invest. You're gonna have to invest in a good woman. You're gonna have to go through some hard feelings, some things not going right all the time. Well, if you were a woman and things going right all the time, y'all fooling each other. It's gonna be some ups, some downs. That's what's gonna keep the relationship active and good. That she can feel she can say what she needs to say to you. You can say what you need to say to her, and you keep going. If you're just holding back what you feel when they do something crazy or do something you don't like, or if he do something you don't like, you thinking, well, I can change. As a woman, you thinking I can change that. You fooling yourself. You get with someone who you respect and someone who you can trust. love and all those other
But
things are.
that's a part of my issue when it's like when you're competing with people who aren't genuine in their approach, but there's to her they're still your competition. So now while I'm trying to navigate building something of substance with you, at the same time you're treating it as if, well, I done heard this from a million guys before. Like, okay, but how do you respond to that in a way to say, okay, but I'm being for real when I said and they weren't? And you should know that. And that's what I think that's what bothers me. You should be able to discern within yourself when a guy is being genuine and when he's not. And I just don't see that quality in women. And that's is at least how I'm viewing it.
I think a lot of women. That's why they don't have kids, and a lot of them hadn't been married. Is that they can see the bull crap too that men are telling them, and it sounds good saying, I got this man here who's interested in me. I got that man who's interested in me. But the bottom line is that long as they realize that, hey, this right here is something tangible, something I can hold in my hand. That right there is like birds in a bush.
Like I've watched it happen. Like it'll be a situation where there's two guys that I know personally and a girl who I know. Three separate relationships. We don't know each other as a group of friends, but I know him, and I know you. And I'll watch her go for the guy who is not, like, I know this guy. He's not really interested in you like that. He's not really trying to do nothing with you outside of what he could do with you, if you know what I'm saying. Like, and this other guy, he would literally he'll work with you. And it's so common that they go towards the guy, and it goes back to what I was saying earlier about the fact that, like, well, yeah, I'll deal with certain stuff if I don't have longevity on my mind. Like, yeah, I'll take you out on a date and spend $200. If I don't plan on being on a date with you in 3 months, I'm not gonna do that. If I plan on going out with you every week for the rest of my life, if I plan on being with you forever, I'm not gonna be irresponsible in certain types of ways. But it's fun though. It's fun that you could go out and explore this thing with this person who is just temporary with.
And that's the conversation that you have with her. That's the conversation you have with her. Hey, this guy, he's willing to take you out and he's willing to spend all this mad money and do all these things for you. He has a time limit to how long he's going to do that.
Okay, now realistically speaking, do you think she's gonna believe that, or do you think she's gonna believe him when he is spending the money saying, "Yeah, I'll do this forever"?
My thing is that she's probably been around long enough to know, and that's not the first guy that done spent money on her like that and everything. If she don't have the common sense to see that every time I follow this glitter, it don't turn out to be gold, and keep following it, that's not someone you want to be with anyway. Same thing if you were if this is a woman with a man. Hey, I'm not gonna keep following glitter. If he's just glitter, I'm not gonna follow him.
I don't know. I think there's so much of a disconnect from the options that are available. Cause like I say, women, they got 30 new guys every single day that are, like you said, trying to sleep with them. Whereas me, my options are people who like legitimately want to be with me. If you're a woman who I could just count as one of my options, this is not a woman that's just trying to sleep with me. This is a woman who is in some way, shape, or form dedicated. So like when I view options in comparison to my reality, first of all, it's a much smaller like group. It's a smaller demographic for is what I have available to me, but also it's just more consistent. And a part of me wants to blame guys where it's like, well, maybe if guys just only pursued women that they really wanted, then that would solve this problem. But like the reality of the situation is, but then there'd be a lot of lonely guys because women are still going to only want to be with the top 10, 15% of guys. And then if you just be like, all right, well, I'm only going to explore my options with women that I 100% see like a future with, that's going to extremely limit your options for his pursuit. And then you're just going to be lonely. Similar to how I think we're in the loneliest generation. I think we are in the loneliest generation of people, and it's because we have the most options that we've ever had.
Well, y'all don't really have a lot of options. Y'all have the internet. Y'all have social media. Those are not true options. that's like you out in the desert and you see a mirage. It's not there. You may think you see it. It's not there. And your generation, they're looking at mirages because that's what they want to see. They want to see the mirage. They want the top. When they're not top, you got people who are average and medium who want the very top, and that's not gonna happen. It never has happened. An average woman or a medium woman who gets a man at the very top. She started with that man when he didn't have anything, and she worked with him, or he worked his way up while they were together. And one thing about men, we can be loyal.
That's true, and maybe I'm saying this because I'm broke. I'll preface it with this. Maybe I'm saying this because I'm broke. That's such an unreasonable ask when you're talking to these women to be like, yeah, I'm not rich now, but if you get with me now when I'm not rich, in 10 years, like, I got a plan. I'm doing stuff. I'm working. You know what I'm saying? And like you could still be there at that point. Like, I know maybe a lot of these celebrities, they leave their high school sweethearts and stuff like that, but that's not the real world. In the real world, these guys who met these women when they were broke and then stayed with the woman all the way up until they were rich, just been with her. It's easier. If nobody's gonna tell them that, like, from a male perspective, that it's significantly easier to just stay with the person who you already care about, that already cares about you, when you have means.
And men who get women when they're struggling, while they're coming up, they don't leave those women. Those women may get to a point where they feel, okay, I got all this stuff now, and start to neglecting that man, and friction come into the relationship, and then they break up. But he don't just leave her because he got money. It don't happen.
It's just TV. It's television, reality TV. And I look at a lot of the world like reality television. It's become such smoke and mirrors. Like, living in the real world, it's like like living in a daze. Like, is any of this actually real? I was having a dream the other day. I was in a parking lot. And I was walking up to my car, which my car is broken down now, so that's what should have told me that it's a dream. But I seen some people, like, messing around in my car. Like, I guess I left the door unlocked or whatever. So then I go in my car, and it's like I reach in the little back cubby behind the back seat, and I grab a weapon. And I'm like, yo, y'all get away from my car. You know what I'm saying? And then next thing you know, I'm in the car with them driving. And I'm in the passenger seat, and I'm like, wait, stop the car. I get out, and I'm trying to tell the person to get out the passenger seat. I'm driving, and they're like, no, like, they're upset. I mean, they're getting out of the passenger seat. I mean, getting out the car, getting into the passenger seat of my car that I just caught you breaking into for me to take you a ride wherever you want to be. And then after that, something else happened. Next thing you know, I'm in a parking lot. I'm in the same parking lot, but at a different time. I'm in a wheelchair, and I'm rolling my wheelchair, and I'm asking myself, did I lock my car door this time? And then it dawned on me at that exact moment. I was like, yo, am I dreaming? Like, is any of this real? Like, so then I started thinking about the movie Inception, where the way he told the girl that she was in a dream was, she was like, you just end up in a place. You don't really, like, navigate to the place. You just, and you're there. And I started asking, like, yo, how did I even get here? So then I stand up, and I stand up out the wheelchair, and I fold the wheelchair like a beach folding chair. And it's like, whole time I'm in my brain thinking, like, yo, is this actually real? Like, none of like, this feels real. I feel like me. I'm existing the same way that I exist when I am awake. But this doesn't feel real. Next thing you know, I done ran into these guys named Artie Seaworld. This is stupid. It's stupid. But they're just a famous internet collective. They make, like, skits and little mini comedic videos and things like that. And I'm next thing you know, I'm arguing with the guy in charge, and then some of the other guys come, and then all of a sudden we're just roasting each other, and I'm like, yo, how is any of this happening? What is, and it's like, I'm awake. I'm asleep. I'm like pinching myself literally, but I'm like, yo, this it feels real, but it doesn't seem real, and that's what the dating world feels like. It's like, yo, this none of this feels like reality. It's like it feels like some kind of faux reality, like it's masquerading as reality, and that's what it feels like.
I don't know. You may need to stay away from YouTube and a lot of that stuff for a while too. It might be getting in you, man.
Mr.
That
Jones,
social media and everything.
everybody has dreams.
Oh yeah. Cause your mom, that might be hereditary. Your mom dream every night. If I dream, I never remember them. I never remember them. And your mom dream every night, and she remember all of them. So
I just started remembering my dreams like a year ago, and I hate it. I want to go back to where I didn't remember my dreams.
well, I don't even know if I dream because I don't remember them.
Well, you
I
do
had
dream
so
because you go through REM sleep, which is rapid eye movement, which is the aspect of your sleep where you have your actual dreams. Ironically enough, you have multiple dreams every night. It's just whichever phase of REM sleep that you wake up in, that's the dream that you remember for people who do remember their dreams. But you go through because while you're asleep, your brain needs to categorize different things. It needs to file away different things. It needs to say what needs to be in recall memory, what needs to be like that's all your dreams are. Is just your brain siphoning through information from when you were awake while you're asleep, because that's the best time for it to do it.
Okay, well, I guess as a child growing up in Georgia, I blocked a lot of stuff out. So I guess I block out dreams too. Then, if it's not something pleasant to me, I don't want to remember it.
I think if when you woke up, you wrote down your dreams, you would start remembering them more. Because like I said, I used to not remember my dreams. It's because when I was younger, I didn't like to dream. My imagination was more creative than it is now. Like nowadays, even if I do have a nightmare, it's just the real world. That's what's a nightmare for me. The more realistic my dream is, the more of like it just seems horrible. The more real things happen in my dream, then that's what's. But like back when I was younger, I used to actually have nightmares to the point to where I wouldn't want to go to sleep. So it's just like I kind of just started dismissing dreams, because even to this day, I can't fall asleep on purpose. I have to be doing something, like, and then fall asleep while I'm doing that thing. Otherwise, my brain is just gonna not let me go to sleep, because it's like I don't like existing in a fantasy world. I don't like existing in this world that doesn't follow the laws of physics and doesn't like. There's universal laws that exist in the real world that don't exist in dreams, and that troubles me.
Mm. Well, like I said, I don't dream and everything, and like you said, I probably do dream. I just don't remember them.
I mean, scientifically, you do.
I don't pay attention to them enough to remember them, and but what I will guarantee, and I'll tell you this, is that now you're 30, and you got women 30, 35, between 30 and 40. That's where most women come to the reality that, hey, I'm overreaching. I'm an average girl.
Do I want you when you're ready to settle?
Well, well, hopefully, because nowadays women are so guarded to where most of them, they may be having sex, but they're not having kids.
You done ran after Drake for the last 15 years. Do I want you when you realize that you can't have Drake?
Yep. That's once she realized Drake's out the picture, then that's exactly the woman you want, because that woman she's gonna be a hard worker. She gonna want some things out of life, and she's gonna be willing to buckle down with you and build a foundation. Those are foundation building years.
Man, that hurt my pride though. That hurt my. I just got it. I've come to the realization I'm not going to be in a significant relationship until I'm rich enough to not care about her for real.
Most women and most men don't know what being in a committed relationship is before they hit 35. I don't think. I think it's just okay. I'm finding myself. Trying to find someone, but they're not really looking. They're trying to find something that they're not looking for until they hit 30, 35. Once they hit 35, now they have a clear picture of what I'm looking for, what I need, and then you start looking for someone who's going to be a solid foundation that you can build on. That's what a woman should be looking for, a man who is a solid foundation that they can build on.
I'm a hopeless romantic at heart, masquerading as a cynic. Like that's I think I might have stole that quote from Hitch, but like that's what I am. I seen a video the other day. It was some people. They was like, I think they had said they'd been together for like 15 years. They had looked to be around their like late 40s, early 50s. And then the guy, it was one of these things where people just walk around with a microphone and ask random people, whether you see couples and ask them questions, or you'll see a random person ask them the same question, and then smash the video together of all the things. And it was like they met at 35, and they were in some club, and he had said, hey, let me buy you a drink, and she was all like, oh, well, I'm with people, so he was like, I got enough for everybody. Kind of like what DeRoy said at his wedding. That's how he met his wife. I think maybe that's where I'm going wrong. To meet your wife, you just have to also buy her friends drinks at the club. But regardless, in the midst of talking to them, though, you could just see these people really liked each other. And that gave me a smidgen of hope that it's like, because at this point, I don't know if I'm finna just meet a woman and actually genuinely like to be around her with what I'm seeing in front of me. I was talking to a guy the other day. He actually found our podcast, added me on Facebook, and we talk from time to time. The other day, he was like, he wanted to talk to me about something. So you remember when I was sitting in the car and I was on the phone for like an hour or whatever. So he calls me, and we're just chatting. We didn't even spend most of the time really talking about women, but then we had got to like what he said, because it was something I had posted on Facebook, and he was like, yo, I have something to say about that. So when we eventually got to that topic, he was like, yeah, I think your problem is, and let me try to not misquote him. He was like, I think you're going with the Moses approach when you need to be going with the Noah approach. I'm like, okay. I know the Bible, but elaborate on that. He was like, you see, Moses, when he was saving the children of Israel, bringing them to the promised land, he took everybody. He went to save every single person. He told them what to do. And soon as he turned his back, they started doing something else. And the punishment was that, okay, well, yeah, y'all don't get to see the promised land, but y'all kids get to see the promised land. Like, he still saved these people who were against him saving them, who did the wrong thing, who wasn't absolutely willing to follow directions. Whereas Noah, God came to him and said, yo, it's finna be a flood. Go tell the people it's going to be a flood. If they don't listen, you get you and your family. You save who wants to be saved. Save who wants to be saved. And then Noah went and did that, and it was just him and his family on the boat while everybody else got washed away. And when it started raining, people like, yo, let me get on the boat with you. No, he's like, no, I tried already with you. And that's the thing. He was like, the basic overall point is you can't save them all. You just gotta find who to save. And I thought that was something I've been thinking about that a lot. It's like I think a part of being a single man is that like you want, when you deal with every new woman, if you're dating with intentionality, you want to come proper to every single person. But then if you take a step back and look at it in a macrocosm from that, what you're doing is you're just trying to save everybody. And I don't know how to find who needs to be saved. And it's just like it's a lot of wolves out there in sheep's clothing. And it's like when there's a man that's a wolf in sheep's clothing, there's a physical danger to that for women. So it's addressed that is like a thing, and he is in the wrong for being that. But like with women, like, they can't hurt me. You're not gonna do nothing to me at all. So when you turn out to just be, again, masquerading, when you just decide, when you're pretending, there's no real safety net for that. You have to just be able to look at a wolf in sheep's clothing and tell that it's a wolf. Otherwise, you are in the wrong, which I'm not necessarily all the way against that. I'm just starting to feel like I'm tired of I'm looking for a sheep in a group of wolves is like looking for a needle in a haystack nowadays. Like, all of them are wolves in sheep clothing, and it's like I don't want to meet a shorty and then start treating her with the angst of my past relationships, because I hate when women do that to me. Even though I've accepted this thing's gonna happen, I don't want to meet you and then you have to deal with all the problems that have come because of all the other women I've met. But the reality of the situation is that's how you kind of gotta be, and then it's a frustrating process trying to figure out who is this the right person, because it's easy to pretend to be the right person for a month, 2 months, 6 months, a year. And at that point, it's like, all right, now I didn't spend a year trying to save the wrong person before eventually the facade is cracked.
I don't know when I was uh, started to date and everything. Everything to me when it came to women was the interview process. They were interviewing me and I was interviewing them. And I had a couple of internships, but that internship was just to see was this person on paper the same way she was off paper. And during the process, they're looking to see, hey, he's on paper saying looking like this. Is he acting like that off paper? And I think your generation done took the interviewing process away.
It's
Y'all just want to give the job to the first person who come, and that person may not be qualified or may not be the right fit for that position.
it's because it's so rare to even get to the interview process. It's so rare. The applications be so bad. Imagine you have a job that you need to fill. You're a hiring supervisor. You need to fill this job, and every single application you see is trash. Wouldn't you would be more inclined to jump at the first application that look like it's right. You might not even check all the sources on it. You might not call the references, because at least finally there's an application there that looks like this person might be competent enough for the job.
Well, like I said, even if you pull that application, you still have to check all the references and everything, because you realize that, hey, this is an application. Everything on there, I need to make sure that it's in order, and she needs to make everything that's on in my application in order. And if you don't check references and you don't check the application out thoroughly like you should, you'll end up a year later, 2 years later, with someone who not qualified for the job, and then you upsetting because they can't do the job.
Or you could just do like most of these jobs and just have a revolving door. Give them the job. When they mess up, you just be quick to cut them off, because hey, whatever. I'm gonna just go find somebody else. Like, I don't know where this job reference is. It's valid, but at the same time, it's just like it's not very. It doesn't provide much hope, because most people don't stick with most jobs in the real world.
But see, the thing is that it costs you more to bring someone in and try to train them than to not look at their qualifications and then dismiss them because they don't meet the qualifications. You lose time and money when you bring someone in who's not qualified.
The funny thing about time is you don't really realize it's gone until it's gone. And I know that you understand this much better than me, because I understand it more and more and more the older I get. But it's like, it's not like you see yourself wasting time in the way that you see yourself wasting money. Like I said earlier, I'm gonna when we done podcast, I'm gonna go to the store and I'm gonna buy a present for you. I'm gonna watch that money come out of my bank account in that exact moment. Even I will even be able to make the decision before I make my purchase, that I know this money's going to come out of my bank account and I have this much left, and this is what that money's worth to me. Is it worth what I am investing it into? With time, you just kind of turn around and it's gone.
That's true. That's true. But I know that you have some young women here in the 20th century, here in 2023, that's looking for the same thing you're looking for. They're looking for someone they can grow old together, someone who's going to treat them properly. Love. Well, I keep saying love, but love is two things. That's trust and respect. They're looking for somebody who's going to trust them and respect them. Love is a byproduct of those two things. trust and respect
over a long enough period of time. I think also in general when we talk about like relationships, I don't think enough emphasis is put on like we always talk about love as if it's the main objective and it's the end all be all. I want somebody who I like cuz understand. All of your sisters, all of your brothers, all of mommy's sisters, her brother, all of their kids. I love them to death. I don't have to talk to them. I don't. If I go a year without speaking to them, I got maybe 2 or 3 cousins that I would notice. Only one is coming to mind for real. That if I went more than a certain, like you could love somebody to death from a distance. I want somebody who I want to be around.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody who I actually enjoy them.
Well, and you know, that comes from spending quality time with someone and getting to know what that person see. If you talk enough to a person, they can't lie to you, especially if you talk to them for a long period of time, because one thing about lies is they're hard to keep up with.
But then it's like it takes a certain period of time to know when BS is BS, and then when you find it out, you don't get that time back when you discover it.
But what you should get from that is that you got some experience. Now you know what to look for the next time you're interviewing. You know, okay, well, this right here could occur again, so let me make sure that this is not going to occur.
There's always something new, though.
Yeah, well,
I just feel like let me add some context to this conversation. I feel like I'm getting old. I'm getting old and I'm getting tired. I'm getting old and tired, and maybe it's just in my brain because, like I said, I just turned 30. What was it? A week and a half ago. So it's just I'm you know, when you hit certain milestones in your life, you just think about things different. You chronicle things different, and I'm tired. I remember a time period where the idea of dating seemed exciting to me. I had the energy for it. I don't even want multiple women now. I remember I used to have 6, 7 of them in rotation at a time. I called it a perfect week if I could link up with 7 different women on 7 different days. And you know, but now just I don't have the energy for it. I don't have the energy for any of this stuff. And it's like I feel like I have already put my best foot forward. And the reality of the situation is, like you say, there is somebody out there. Eventually I'm gonna find my Noah candidates as opposed to my Moses candidates. But like it's just if we're just having a conversation about it, it just feels like it just doesn't feel worth it. If I need a woman for physical benefits, I could guess that's not hard to get. It's really not. It's after you've dealt with enough women, you understand how to get, you know, boom, 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 this, that, and the third. But I want somebody who I like. And that's just, I don't even know that I have the energy to build that anymore.
Well, see, what you have to do is realize also that women know when men are, when they playing games and when
they don't.
I
swear they don't. I've watched them not know.
For instance, that when we went to Washington to that comedy show, and this girl who was working there at the place, and you just say, okay, well, I'm gonna approach her, and I said this girl know that him and X that it's a game to her. It's a game, and then she started playing the game because she knew y'all wasn't serious.
How you know I wasn't serious?
Well, that's what she probably felt.
And boom, and there we go, right there. Cause
y'all went back there.
No, cause see, my thing is, in my mind, me going back there was because I'm not finna approach you. Not at this point anymore. What I was talking about back in the day, I was 21, 22. If I'm finna approach you, I'm being dead serious. But see, that's what happens. I come and I approach you, and it's like, all right, she playing hard to get. Well, I gotta go do something. I'm gonna slide back. You feel me? After the show is over, we gonna chill, kick it, talk, and all that type of stuff. And then she go to playing games. That type of stuff. It take me away because it's like I wasn't. I don't know her well enough to know that I wasn't serious. But I don't just be. I'm not at the point anymore where I'm just approaching women for no reason. But the thing is, you may have had some guys approach you in the past that just wanted to. You feel me? And it's just like so now I have to pay for their sins, and that's what I'm not gonna do because I'm tired of it. I've done that. I've played that game already where I deal with the consequences of all the guys you chose to deal with in the past.
Well, it's not that she was playing a game and that you were playing a game, but I perceived that you and X was playing a game. So I can only imagine that.
My thing is how I didn't talk to nobody else while I was there. I was chilling with my family, supporting one of my close friends from 10 years back at his comedy show. Didn't talk to nobody else. Walked up to her, had a conversation with her. Was supposed to talk with and then was patient enough while she's working and do this, that, and the third. She doing what she got to do. And after that, I'm like, yo, I got to do. But then I pull back up on her. It was her and one other person who I didn't even have a conversation with no type of way in that thing. I sit there, I patiently wait. I'm engaging in conversation. Like I literally did everything that you would do if you weren't playing games. And I still got to deal with the consequences of she probably just thought I was playing games. Why am I dedicating this much time to games? My games take 30 minutes and I'm done. Like I didn't play them enough times. I'm good at them. That's the type of thing that frustrates me when I got to deal with the consequences of seeming like I'm playing games when I don't play games.
But that was just my take on it. And
well, because my thing is, I talked to her before you got there, though.
Oh, okay.
I talked to her before you got there. Then my parents showed up afterwards, and it's like, I just go occasionally buy a drink or whatever. Mention, my folks here, just chilling. That's the thing. It's not like I'm working the room. It's not like I'm in everybody's face. I had a conversation with 4 people at that comedy show that day. You, my father, my mother, the person hosting the comedy show, and her. That was it. What type of game is that? If I got to invest that much into a game, I don't need to be playing. Cause I done played my games, and that's not how I play them. That's not how I play my games.
Well, and see that's where it comes to where you and her would sit down and y'all would talk and everything, and she would find that out through conversations.
We didn't get there because I'm not about to at the point where she's like, you could take down my Instagram. I'm not finna do that. I could have took down her Instagram and hit her up on Instagram sometime later, like, yo, I'm gonna be back in the city and whoop whoop this time. Let me take you to blase blah. Like I know about these types of games, but it's just like no, I've done enough, and that's why I say I don't have the energy that I used to have back in the day. I would have took that as a challenge. And at the same time, while I'm taking that as a challenge, I would have just dismissed you out of my mind as being a potential candidate, and it would have turned into a game. Because 9 times out of 10, when I'm playing games, at that first approach, it wasn't a game. It's how you responded that turned it into a game. But I don't have the energy to play games with you. That's why I didn't.
Well, I guess back in the day, though, my thing is that a lot of times the women that most men hit on, they done seen that woman 2 or 3 times, and they done talked to her, and they ease from like a semi associate thing into something that could be more. It's hard nowadays to walk up to someone and cold turkey you've never met before and just start a conversation that you think is going to lead to a relationship.
My thing is not for me.
It has to be a association. We're gonna.
This is what I learned when I was younger, and this is back when I was too young to know about playing games. Back when I was still the little lover boy. You just walk up to them and have. I don't want to say the most blunt conversation, the most open conversation. You walk up to a woman. Introduce yourself. she's probably thinking, why are you talking to me? Tell her why you're talking to her. Like literally, you'd be surprised. Like, overthinking it is what turns it into a problem. But the reality of the situation is, approaching women, if you are genuine, is easy. Now,
I think you still need an icebreaker, something that's going to lighten the mood when you first start the conversation.
I have this thing called a personality. Like, that's how it works. Eventually, if the conversation is being reciprocated, we'll get to laughs and jokes and stuff because I'm funny. Like that's the reality of the situation. Like, if you real life want a woman, the best advice that I could give you is be genuine. Now, if you want some advice on how to just get her home, how to play games with her, how to sleep with her, how to get her on your roster, I could give you some of that that's come over time. But at the most fundamental level of how I feel about approaching women, the easiest way is to be 100% genuine. Just tell them the exact thing that you're thinking. Hold on one second.
Yep, I agree with that.
Tell them what you're thinking and tell them why you are thinking what you are thinking. And then go from there. And if y'all aren't compatible, at least you figured it out early. But trying to find all right, well, I got to do this. I got to go by this step. I got to hit this mark. I got to yada, 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 all of this type of stuff.
Well,
that's best if you want to play a game.
It's not that complicated.
That's if you want to play a game with them, then that's where you get your pickup lines ready. That's where you get your, you know what I'm saying, you get all the bells and the whistles. You get the smoke and mirrors out. And trust me, I got enough bells. I got enough whistles. I got enough smoke to go with my mirrors. I know about that type of stuff. But the reality of the situation is, at my core, in my approach, the best part you're going to get from me approaching you is 100% genuine. And sometimes what I've realized is that's off-putting to women sometimes. Not off-putting, that's the wrong word. It makes it hard for them to believe what you're actually saying to them when you just come out and say it, because they're so used to everybody trying to mirror things and playing all these games and trying to masquerade in certain types of ways. But for me, what I have realized to be the most success in not wasting my time, because listen, even if, like, a lot of the times when y'all don't want y'all time wasted, I don't want my time wasted either. Even if I'm the one approaching, I don't want to end up wasting my time at the end of it. So, yeah, if I might be able to maneuver a certain type of way to get you to see things my way, or if I could coerce you into seeing things my way, that might be the most convenient for me if I just want certain things. But what I've realized is the number one way to not waste my time is to just tell them the truth. I know that's a crazy take for most guys, but the best thing I can say to you is tell them the 100% truth. And the worst thing that'll happen to you is they say no. Okay. And that was a hill I had to get over, of getting rejected. But I'm fine with that. I'm secure enough within myself to where you can reject me first quarter, and I'm cool with that. So now I just have made my security within myself has made my life easier, because I could just tell you the truth. And if you don't see things the way I see things, we could go our separate ways.
Mr. Jones, we've had a nice conversation, and I know that when the scriptures say a man that finds a wife finds a good thing, finding one, it may be hard. It may be difficult, but once you find one, it's a very, very good thing.
If I hit 32, I'm just going to be a playboy. I'm knocking everything down, and I'm not calling back.
All right. Mr. Jones, it's been nice having this conversation, getting a chance to come back before the family and just let them know that we ain't going nowhere.
If you're watching this, get in the comment section right now. Go. Don't pause the video, I guess, because you won't be able to hear what I'm saying. Go down to the comment section, type "Happy Birthday, Mr. Jones," and then put an emoji after it, because this is going to come out on his birthday. So tell my dad happy birthday, or else I'm going to cuss your mama out.
Oh, whoa. Family, thank you for listening. Mr. Jones, what do you have to say?
Bye.
Bye.